What is the chakra of time? There is a popular saying, you sow an action, you reap a character, you sow a character and you reap a destiny. This folk wisdom has much more meaning than it seems at first glance. Each of our actions or decisions carries some information. It eventually affects our energy system, changes it, and accordingly, affects our fate and changes it. Information appears in our energy system as energy that blocks channels, then in the form of already blocked or narrowed channels, and as a result our organs do not work well. Let's give a simple example. A person was refused a position, explaining it by his lack of qualifications. Instead of going to school and getting the missing knowledge, he agrees to work in a lower paid job, but still dreams of a position with a higher salary. The transcendental energy is responsible for willpower. And when a person has given up what he could have had with a little more effort, his transcendental line narrows. Accordingly, such a person has less transcendental energy. Those energy centers that work on this energy begin to feel a lack of it, so their work is also disrupted. Gradually, the work of the entire power system is also disrupted. If the event has already passed, and we can't physically return to it to change something, or if as a result of some actions, both normal and magical, a person changed their fate to an undesirable scenario, you can rewrite the information in the Time Chakra. We have already mentioned the Time Chakra in the story about love spells, lesson number 15. The Time Chakra is a double organ of our energy system. It looks like two twisted snails, located on the sides of the second dantian, reminiscent of a figure 8 lying flat. In the center of the snails, the halves of the 8 energy is twisted in spirals. This is information about our past and future. The left source contains information about the future, and the right one contains information about what happened, our fate. As soon as the first cell of the embryo is born, the entire future life of a person is immediately energetically built up. This is a scenario of an ideal life, built in images of what and how it should be. As a person develops, the scenario may deviate in one direction or another. These changes are made either by our own decisions and actions, or by external factors and circumstances, parents, immediate environment, environmental conditions, etc. Changes can be either positive or negative. For example, a child was afraid of a dog, and then overcame his fear. Overcoming yourself will cause positive changes in your life. If a person is so afraid of dogs for the rest of his life, this will certainly affect his energy in the most negative way. So as to change our destiny, we need to rewrite the information in the Time Chakra. This practice is performed in 2 stages. First, the Time Chakra must be purified and filled with new transcendental energy. This is usually done by practicing with Mount Kailash. The practice of working with Mount Kailash and the Chakra of Time, the first level. The first level of practice is to identify the Time Chakra itself. The difficulty of doing this is that you need to be more experienced and have a higher level of practice than you already have. Therefore, even experienced practitioners are not always able to see own Chakra of Time. It is best to carry out this part under the supervision of an instructor, the science of inner strength. If there is no opportunity to train with an instructor, you can try to do the practice yourself. Very often, the Time Chakra opens to the practitioner completely unexpectedly, but this can only happen if you practice daily. First part, opening the red line, the main position sitting, spread the arms a little wider or put on the pillows. It is very good if you already hold your arms without support. This brings up our electromagnetic field. While the arms are held in the air, there is a steady flow of energy. As soon as we lose control and our thoughts go to the side, the arms stop to hold, the muscles tighten and the arms become heavy. So we understand that the practice was not performed well enough. If we practice for several hours a day, it is better not to hold our arms in the air and put them on pillows. 1. Open the red line, as in the first part of the practice, the red line of the second level of expansion, lesson number 19. If in the last practice you did not close the red line completely and left it the size of your arm volume, then in this practice, when you expand the red line, we immediately increase it to the size of 2 arms volume. Increase the red line only to the hands, the size of the body. In this practice, we do not accumulate energy, so there is no need to go outside the body. 2. Sit in the red line for 5 minutes until there is a steady flow of energy goes. The second part is synchronized with the Mount Kailash 1. Imagine in front of us, once every 3 seconds Mount Kailash for 30 seconds. 2. Visualize images alternately once every 3 seconds, our red line piercing the earth line, the red line of Mount Kailash, at the same time our red line and the line of Mount Kailash, for synchronization with the transcendental line of the mountain for 30 seconds. Third part, connecting the Time Chakra with Mount Kailash 1. Imagine your Time Chakra, visualize a flat 8 at the level of the second dantian. As children draw a figure 8 on the asphalt and look at their drawing from above, so at the level of the second dantian, the figure 8 is as if drawn on an invisible sheet. 2. Imagine at the heart level the first half of the 8, if you look at it from above, it will look like a spiral funnel going somewhere down. Imagine a point in the center of the funnel. Build a channel from the left half of the Time Chakra to Mount Kailash. Mentally draw a line from a point in the center of the funnel to the red line of Mount Kailash, a point just above the middle of the transcendental line of the mountain. We hold this image with our consciousness continuously for about 10-20 seconds. As a result, you should have a feeling that the energy of Kailash goes to a point in the center of the funnel, and a feeling that there is something in the area of this point, and then this part of the Time Chakra will light up, and you can more clearly imagine it. 3. Imagine alternately once every 3 seconds images, our red line, piercing the line of the earth, the red line of Mount Kailash, then visualize continuously the image of the line from the point in the center of the left half of the 8, to the point on the line of Mount Kailash about 10-20 seconds. 4. Imagine next to the first half of the 8 the second half, also similar to a funnel, going somewhere down. And in the center of the funnel a point. Build a channel from the right half of the Time Chakra to Mount Kailash. Mentally draw a line from a point in the center of the funnel to the red line of Mount Kailash, to the same point located just above the middle of the transcendental line of the mountain. We hold this image with our consciousness continuously for about 20 seconds. 5. Mentally connect the points in the center of the funnels. You should get a triangle. Imagine a triangle with points in the center of the halves of the Time Chakra and Mount Kailash. At this point, many intuitively lower their heads to look at the 8. This interrupts the flow of transcendental energy from the back of their heads. Therefore, you should not lower your head, the head should be held straight. Fourth part, visualize images alternately once every 3 seconds, our red line, piercing the earth line, the red line of Mount Kailash, a triangle with points in the centers of the halves of the Time Chakra and Mount Kailash for 30 minutes the first time and more than an hour in subsequent. If it is difficult to imagine the triangle as a whole, then you need to try to visualize it in turn, as if running through it with your consciousness. First, imagine the left part of the Time Chakra and the line from it to the red line of Mount Kailash, then the line from Mount Kailash to the right half of the Time Chakra, and only then, the line from the right half of the Time Chakra to the left. If it is difficult to practice for an hour or more, then you can do 4 parts for 30 minutes, then take a break for 15 minutes, get up, walk, you can drink tea, and sit down again and practice for 30 minutes. Performing the practice for an hour or more is already a very serious level. With a high level of consciousness control, you can even combine the practice with watching your favorite movie, but you can only do this if you can already see your Time Chakra very well. Otherwise, there will be no effect from performing the practice. It happens that, despite diligent and daily practice, a person does not see their Time Chakra. In this case, you must sign up for classes with a Qigong instructor. Final part, we finish the practice, as well as the basic red line. If you are already advanced in the practice of extending the red line by 300 meters, then at the end we leave the red line with your arm volume. If the energy is still insufficient, then close both from the top and from the tailbone, as in the basic practice of the 4th lesson. You may feel that some cold energy is being poured into the chest. With good practice, there is a feeling of coolness and volume inside. Some see their Time Chakra as gray, and after connecting with Mount Kailash, they can clearly see that the white energy is spiraling down somewhere. This is a very good indicator of correct execution. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe to the channel. All have a good mood and bye.